Peter Vanalia coming to you from the paddock here at Yonkers Raceway in New York with an advanced look at Tuesday afternoon's races, specifically races 7 through 11, all mile-and-a-quarter trot races, 2 with 12-horse fields and 3 with 10-horse fields. And here at Yonkers, we have 4 of North America's top drivers, and Jason Bartlett is our leading driver and is currently number 5 in the nation. Thanks for joining us, Jason.
Thank you, Pete.
In the 7th race, you're driving number 2, the Turtle Express for trainer Heidi Rohr. But you drove this one last year quite a bit for Tracy Brainerd and won 3 out of 4 tries with this one, once at this level and twice at higher levels, actually. But again, now returns from Saratoga for Heidi. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, he's just a little tricky getting away from the gate there, and after that, he's pretty good. You know, he's fast enough for this class, that's for sure. Draws inside post, and you know, just not a horse you can really use that early.
Yeah, this is one that really hasn't experienced mile-and-a-quarter racing yet. Any idea how this one will handle that?
Yeah, I don't think the mile-and-a-quarter will hurt him. You know, he's just a little tricky behind the gate and in the first quarter. So once he gets his legs under him, he's usually pretty good.
All right, so that's Turtle Express for the very potent Rohr-Bartlett combination. And in race 8, you're driving the rail horse Pine Tab. You picked up this drive. Good news, you have the rail.
Yep.
Bad news, he's 0 for 49 in 2014 and 15.
Yep.
Now, you happened to get him very close to a victory earlier this year, finishing second by a neck. What can you tell us about him?
You know, he's got a little bit of gate speed to get himself in a little bit of a position here. You know, and then we'll just have to go from there. You know, hopefully get him up close and not move him, and then see if he has trot home.
Yeah, so you coaxed a little bit of speed out of him in one of his starts earlier this year. Do you think he has enough speed to take advantage of the rail?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's one thing he can do is leave. But you know, what you use too much up early, you won't have at the end. So you got to find that happy medium there.
Well, I think the expression is the 50th time is the charm, so we'll see what happens on Tuesday. In the 9th race, you're driving the 5-horse, Trading Places for trainer Rich Banka. This is a Yonkers regular that you actually, I believe, have never driven. 3 wins and 5 starts at the $15,000 claiming level, 2 at the mile-and-a-quarter distance. Bumps up now against 20,000 types, as do 2 others in the field. You've competed against them plenty. What do you know about them?
You know, take a lot of air. Likes to do a lot of work on the outside, you know, and trots home pretty well. So that's pretty much that's all I have for you for knowing him. I know the 1 horse has a lot of speed early. I don't know how he's going to like the mile-and-a-quarters, but he's been racing pretty good his last 2 starts there. And so we're going to try to trip this horse out. It looks like, you know, 1 through 5 other horses to watch here. And we'll go from there. The 4 horse is back in the Renee Allard stable, and he always races pretty good for Renee.
He does seem to be pretty versatile, though, with his last win coming on the lead and the prior 2 coming from off the pace.
Yep.
That gives you some options, I say.
Yeah, they moved him, you know, the quarter pole move there and got the lead, you know, his favorite. So, and then he went for fun. So, looks like we have a pretty good shot in that race. Now
Jason is very skilled, but again, one of the things you might want to do, check with his new owner. Maybe get a little tips before the next race, okay?
Right. Yeah, well, you know, we always got to go and ask the owner kind of what they want to do first and try to make them happy, you know, so we get the drive back.
In the 10th race, you're driving the 3, Royal Melinda. It's another who's raced here often, but again, you've never driven, but this one's been facing better lately and was a winner in her last try at this level and has won at the distance. What do you know about her?
Not that much. You know, I've raced against her a bunch of times. You know, looks like, you know, we're dropping down way in class here. So looks like we should have a good shot that way. Trot, pretty fast horse. You know, Trot's here 56, 57 here every week. So, you know, dropping down, looks like we got a pretty good shot.
This is one that, from what you can see on the program, seems to do most of her best work from off the pace.
Yeah, that's what you know, when you race against her, she does. Yeah, you know, comes from off the pace.
Now, not surprisingly, Jason's very popular at the box in the morning. You know, in the 11th race, you're driving the 9, Chelsea's Chance, and you had your choice of 2 here, the 7, Movement, or the 9, Chelsea's Chance. What was the thinking behind going with the 9, Chelsea's Chance?
You know, trailing position against the other horse at the 7 hole. Gets to follow by Blue Chip. So, and you know, showed some pretty good miles there at Monticello 55. You know, Saratoga was a decent trip last week, got caught late, but you know, doesn't look like that type of a group, so that's why I went with there.
And so another good news, bad news situation. She has speed, but she's in the second tier, unfortunately.
Well, you know what? Sometimes they kind of like that flip-flopping stuff. You know, you don't use the horses up early, and especially in a mile and a mile and a quarter. You know, her last race there, we don't want to repeat that performance.
All right. Well, again, Tuesday afternoon, Jason Bartlett in all 5 of the legs of the pick 5. Thanks for joining us, Jason.
Thank you.